Hi, welcome to this part of my review featuring Fabula Ultima TTJRPG. If you haven't seen the other parts of my review, featuring this tabletop role-playing game that attempts to bring the Japanese video game RPG experience to your table, please check out the playlist in the description below. This time we are going to talk about rituals. By acquiring specific classes and skills, characters may gain the ability to use ritual magic belonging to different disciplines. For example, you can produce a magical effect based on the arcana you have bound, in the case of arcanism. In the case of entropism, you can cause the decay of physical matter, twist the flow of time, and teleport creatures or items. It's important to note that ritual magic should never be able to accomplish any of the following: causing direct damage. The ritual can still deal collateral damage. For example, if you open a chasm below your enemy's feet, they are bound to suffer some kind of harm. When establishing collateral damage, you have a table to serve as guidance for this. Also, rituals cannot inflict or remove status effects. Rituals cannot cause characters to lose or gain HP, MP, Fabula points, and other stat-related points. Neither can they replicate the mechanical benefits of an existing spell or skill, nor can they generate creatures or equipment, or grant them permanent abilities. Aside from this, most rituals are fair game, but the stronger the effect you seek, the more tragic the consequences will be if your ritual goes wrong. So rituals could seem a bit difficult to use, but there are many things that you can accomplish. For example, you can block a passage, you can create an illusion, you can sense thoughts, alter the weather, perhaps cause a catastrophe, or weaken a divine entity. And you can affect several things, perhaps a single object, maybe a few human-sized creatures, perhaps a crowd, or an entire fortress. Let's talk about casting or using rituals. You describe what you want to accomplish with your ritual and declare which area or creatures you want to affect. The Game Master has final say on whether a given effect can be accomplished, as well as which ritual discipline it falls within. By consulting the area and potency tables, the Game Master determines the ritual's total cost in mind points. The ritual is cast following the normal procedure for a spell, but it always requires a magic check which must meet or exceed a difficulty level based on the ritual's potency. The check will rely on the attributes indicated by the ritual's discipline. If you succeed, the ritual has the desired effect. If you fail, the Game Master will describe how its effects have been twisted in a catastrophic way. When a character attempts a ritual, other characters can help, even if they have no ability to perform rituals themselves. The magic check will become a group check, and the character who performs the ritual will act as the leader. It is easy to notice that the MP cost of rituals can be rather high. In order to reduce this cost, the spellcaster may provide an especially rare or powerful ingredient. Doing so will cut the MP cost in half. This can only be done once per ritual, and the Game Master should determine the nature of the ingredient. Finding it should be its own adventure. If there is no time to prepare and the ritual is urgent, an item or ingredient the Game Master deems suitable can be sacrificed to allow the ritual to take place. You have sample rituals in this section, such as summoning a great globe made of fire and using it to destroy the engine of an airship. This is an elementalism ritual of major potency, targeting a small area. If the ritual fails, you might trigger a devastating firestorm. Or perhaps you want to erect a barrier of energy to shield a castle from an avalanche. This is a ritualism ritual of extreme potency targeting a huge area. If the ritual fails, you might cause a burst of uncontrolled magical force and trigger a supernatural cataclysm. Let's talk about using rituals during conflicts. Ritual magic can certainly be attempted during a conflict scene, but you will first need to gather enough magical energy. The process is as follows. You use the objective action to begin a ritual. A ritual clock is immediately created with a number of sections based on the ritual's potency. Now that this clock is part of the scene, anyone can interact with it through the objective action. Once the clock is filled, The character who initiated the ritual may use an action to perform step 3 of the flowchart explained earlier. To do so, they will spend the appropriate mind points and perform the magic check for the ritual, whose difficulty level is determined by the ritual's potency. The outcome of the check will reveal whether the ritual is successful or its effects are twisted catastrophically. And this concludes this part of the review. In the next part, we are going to talk about economy and items. Rituals are somewhat tricky to handle. They feel a bit like the wish spell in Dungeons & Dragons. I think that rituals should be used in major points of the adventure or perhaps the entire campaign, but I recommend that you encourage players so that they get creative and carry out all sorts of effects with those rituals. Who knows? Maybe those rituals could serve as turning points to take the adventure in an unexpected direction. Thank you for watching this part of the review, and thank you for your likes and your comments. If you have any questions or comments, please let me know. And thank you so much to those of you that are going the extra mile to support the channel. If anyone else wishes to further support the channel, the information on how to do that will be in the description below. Once again, thank you, and see you later.